It's actually crazy. Anyone who does like blind compliance and just says when you guys say click the button and you just click it and it works, it just works. My name is Jordan and I run an entertainment company in Melbourne based around weddings and DJs and all the fun stuff.
Love it. And what was the state of your ads, if anything, prior to joining Where You?
Abysmal. I didn't have ads running. I was all strictly word of mouth. And doing a couple agency jobs here and there. In the process of growing the business, had someone help out and run a couple ads, but yeah, nothing eventuated as much as it has, I guess, with Where You.
Yeah, and what was the biggest hesitation prior to joining that you were kind of like facing or on the fence about?
The only hesitation I really had was just mainly the outsiders speaking in. I'm very much an impulse dive head first, and Brandon had popped up on my screen a billion one times, like every other business owner in Melbourne or Australia, to be honest. And I was sat down. I was like, this guy's got. He has to, for him to show up so often. He has to be saying something. I remember I was in bed on like a random Friday night, and I filled in the form, and I woke up the next day to a call from Jake, like, "Let's book this in." I was like, "What? What's going on?"
It's always
Um,
Jake.
Always Jake. No, it was great. And I think yeah, the main hesitations was I had done the call without kind of speaking to anyone, and then I spoke to my parents and I got blasted. And all the people around me, like all these very successful business owners just said I got rorted and that it was a dumb decision and that I shouldn't have done it. And felt really silly. And that was my hesitation after I put my money down. And I said, well, I better make it work for what it is. We learn or we move on. And rest assured, that was probably the best decision I made ever.
And like, give me a little bit more insight into that picture. So, where were you and where are you currently now? Because my understanding is when you first joined, you were working a full time job and entertainment and DJing was a side hustle. Can you
Yeah,
talk to
yeah.
me a little about where you started and where you are now after being, what's that, almost a year in the program? More?
More. No, almost a year. Well, just under a year. I technically onboarded in April and then I didn't start till August.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy whirlwind of just jumping on and everything in between. But it was 2025. I'd written my own weird DJ goals and all that fun stuff. And it was a side hustle that I said, look, if I can make X amount of money from this point in time or 40 G's in a month as a side hustle whilst working as a full-time project manager in civil construction, I'd be pretty happy with a decent cash injection whilst having no life outside of that because my hours during working the day of project managing and then hours at night managing all the weddings and stuff. Um, so I was kind of lost and kind of like, I don't know why I'm spending all this time in my early 20s, not even partying with mates, but at random people's weddings that like almost feel like as if I'm not getting anywhere. It's great and I love what I do, but it feels like it's detracting from my own life and it's a bit of a burden. And so, um, cut long story short, after I joined on with Brandon, and I had juggled this speed run of running this project management life in civil construction and smashing out all of the core work before even joining the workshop in August. I was in the first workshop in Melbourne that sold out. And I had set up everything before I even got to the first workshop day. And all I was just waiting was to press go. And as soon as I left the workshop, I think I was one of the few type of people that got two leads that landed. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that. Um, and rest assured, all the people, the doubters were like, how'd it go? How'd it go? And I was like, well, I just got two leads. And then after I called the two leads and closed them, I was like, I just closed two deals. What's going on? And then sure enough, after kind of just continually churning away and trying to attend calls sneakily during my lunch breaks to speak with you, Patsy, or whoever in the team, I was able to kind of chip away, chip away, chip away. And then I had suddenly hit my 30K month in October, my first ever 30K month. And I was like, I just nearly made what I made last year in a month. Like, this is crazy. And I'm doing half of what I need to be doing to make it as big as I want it to be. So I made the executive decision then and there. Let's jump. I spoke to my boss. My boss thought I was crazy. And I just said, look, I got to chase the dream. I was 23 at the time, 22 or something. And I was just like, I got to try. And he goes, I don't blame you. Go for it. And sure enough, I did. And now I'm here and I make consistent 30K months like it's bread and butter. Like nothing's going wrong, trying to push towards that 45K mark like it's nothing.
Epic, which is just like insane. Like you quit your full time job and now all of a sudden your side hustle has become like your main income stream. And what has been your experience inside the program? What have you enjoyed out of it? What didn't you like that ended up just getting you to this point?
I think I love just the consistent amount of support. I wasn't even able to get to all of the support. I would make religious amount of school posts in the school community, and when I got back to after my 9 to 5, I just smash out as whatever I could that night and just keep ticking it over. Um, I think that was just the best part about it all is just like there was always a team supporting you and wanted the best for you. And because then when you show up religiously or consist like post religiously, the team get to know who you are and what your brand is. And so then I got these consistent results because they were like, oh, Jordan's the DJ from Melbourne. This is what he should be saying or what he should be doing. And then you build this rapport with the amazing team at Where You and your business just like triples. It's ridiculous.
And what has this meant for you both professionally and personally?
It's just the level of confidence you kind of walk away knowing that I don't need to always be searching for work because it's always going to come in as long as I follow the words of the amazing team here at With You, Where You, and as well as like there's no second guessing in just your capacity and ability. I think when I was such doing it as a side hustle, there was always this second guessing nature of, am I worth it? Am I worth what I'm doing? DJing on the weekends. Like people actually want to come to me to DJ their events. And then rest assured, it's like, oh no, people consistently book in every week to have me and my amazing team. Because that's the other crazy thing. I've got a team of DJs now because I can't actually hit every single event. So a team of about 5 DJs week in, week out. It's just mind-boggling. But just all the bonuses of it all, you just, I love it.
Yeah, amazing. And when you're thinking about areas of opportunity you have grown, is it just paid digital ads? Like, what do you think the Where You program has brought you from a holistic perspective approach to business?
Ah, there's so many things. I've had to kind of break it down, probably be three. Not only the education to actually know what's going on the back end of my business and how to grow it in a marketing sense. I think marketing can very much be pigeonholed into brand guidelines, logos, content, and it gets this into this big blur. When the reality I think Brandon says it in a million one of his ads. It's just like you pay to win, and if you pay and you follow the steps, you can tick it off. I think the second part is community. I think being a business owner at 22 years of age, there's not many people, I guess, within my bracket would understand what's kind of going on. And I feel kind of out of my league when I was with kind of talking to people about business and kind of shoved to the side. And when you get injected into a community of people that all just A, want to grow and B, support one another because we're all getting the same support, you suddenly are in this amazing community of people that are all kind of giving you pro tips, do this, have you thought of that? And then thirdly, I think you just have a whole sense of confidence because you have a team that backs you. I am my marketing team, but then when I say marketing team, I think of you, Patsy. You're like my co-pilot, and we do
Yeah.
all these fun things. And it's like I've got Patsy. I used to see Raj consistently, and I had all the whole team at like access point. Like the other day, I caught up with Brandon and Tim, and it's like, how can you ever speak to those people high level in a company? Like you wouldn't ever speak to the marketing agency owners when you go to a marketing agency. You get the junior, as they say. So being able to have those touch points with all levels of the team is just like the best. So yeah, if I had to summarize it, long-winded, but those three.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. And on that, Brandon, thoughts? Scam? Is he what he is portrayed on
He's a
social
prick because
media?
he's so good. He's a dog. Like it's infuriating like how good he is at what he does. And I think it's like the Conor McGregor effect. Like everyone hates Conor McGregor, but he's so entertaining. And you know what? They used to call him Mystic Mac because he could predict his knockouts. And I feel like anytime Brandon speaks and the way he can predict the results for businesses and whatnot, it's just mind blowing. I remember in my first workshop at the end of it, he'd drawn out a timeline of what it's going to be like. He goes, the first 3 months is going to be this. It's going to be an absolute roller coaster. The next, it's 6 months points. It's just going to be skyrocketing and you're going to get a lot of leads. The quality will drop. Like the lead quality will go down. No, the lead number will go down and the quality go up, but you'll still be on this consistent rise. And then you get to the end and it's just maintaining it and smashing it out. And so at that point, I was like, this bloke, is he trying to upsell me? Is he trying to point me in the direction of support that, like, is he trying to get this angle? But the reality is, he's just Mystic Mac and he just predicted the wins and the future success of my business, to which literally what he said is what's happening. And I'm in a co-pilot now with Patsy and we're smashing it. And I have people in the industry contacting me relentlessly, like, what's going on? Why do I see your face all the time? Like, not only for your own business, but there's this where you guy popping up. And I saw you do this testimonial where you swear, and I'm like, yeah, I know it's embarrassing, but it's all over the place.
And if anyone is on the fence about joining, what would you tell them?
Do it, do it, do it, do it. Don't like, actually, don't do it. If you're lazy and you think it's all going to happen for you, don't. Because the reality is, the hours of work I put in to get here is a ridiculous amount. And the correlation between those who listen to where you have to say and those who don't shows the difference between the success rate of each individual. It's actually crazy. Anyone who does like blind compliance and just says, when you guys say click the button and you just click it and it works, it just works. So if you're not coachable and you don't think that you can do all this work and spend hours, because I spend hours creating landing pages and the marketing creatives whilst working full time to get where I am, so that I can work from home now and live up this amazing dream, which is my side hustle. Don't do it. It's not for you.